Hello everyone, I'm Lien from Studio Kato and I am so excited to introduce you to the new Spring in Kyoto collection from Spellbinders designed by Syberia. I absolutely love all of the designs in this collection. There are die sets, there are BetterPress sets, and even a 3D embossing folder that is really fun. So let's just get right into it. So let's get started with these products. I absolutely love this first die set. It is probably my favorite because it just gives you so much room to play with it and play with color and play with patterns. This is the first die set where I felt a little sorry that I had given away all of my pattern paper because this set calls for pattern paper as well. Now, before I get into all of the little pieces, I'll show you some examples that I made, because sometimes with these die sets, it's a little harder to see what the pieces are for exactly. So you get the base doll piece, so the body and the face. Then you also have some sleeves here as well. And you have two different hair pieces. All of the rest is layered on top as accessories. So you have tons of different hair accessories. You have these pins, which I forgot the name of in English, but you can see them here sticking out of her bun. There are some clips to put in the buns, or some flowers even. You could put these tiny flowers on top of these pins as well, which looks really fun. There is like a little hair elastic, super tiny details that just add so much to these beautiful little dolls. They look so detailed and dainty. I love them. There's also a little fan that they can be holding. I forgot to even use it on either of my examples, but it's such fun little detail. Then you have all of these things that layer on top to add texture to the sleeves and to the color of the kimono. It's just so beautiful. All of these little flowers I used to make a pattern on the dolls. So you can see it here in detail. I just cut them out of pink cardstock and layered them on top. And here I cut them out of blue. And I also added tiny little gold leaves that I just painted on top. I love that you can just paint on top of this because there is enough surface area to this doll that you can just paint a pattern on top. You don't have to stick to the little dies that are included in the set. So lots of versatility in this die set. The second die set in the Spring in Kyoto collection is this beautiful fan and bow die set. So like the name suggests, you make a fan and some bows with it. Now I love little bows in any die set because it's just a fun little detail to add to any card. Like if you make a little bouquet or wreath, it could be a fun addition to that. But obviously this is also just an accessory to this beautiful fan you create. So this is my example card here. You have 7 different little fan blades. You also cut out 7 different pieces of like wood to put which folds the fan, and then you have add the bow on top. Now here you get all of these markings in this die. This is your base die, and it has all of these markings that show you exactly where to put all of the pieces, which makes it so easy and so satisfying to put together. So these little markings show you where to put the wooden pieces, and then each line here shows you to where to put each fan blade as well. Now there are 2 different patterns for the fan blades. So you have a more detailed one and one with a larger flower. You can mix them in one fan, or you can cut it a couple times to create a fan that just has one pattern throughout. And yeah, I love that. It's so pretty. So pretty. And it's large enough to fill up a card if you just add a little frame element. This collection also includes some BetterPress plates, which I am such a fan of anyway. I love BetterPress, and I love that you can foil with it as well. This is a Kokeshi doll BetterPress plate. So if you don't love assembling little die cuts, which I don't understand, but okay. If you don't love it, you could do this instead. You could better press them and color them in. I watercolored some of these, actually all of these. So I watercolored the little dolls with their beautiful kimonos. I absolutely love it. And here you can see those hair accessories as well. That are actually included in the die set for the Kokeshi dolls. So yeah, you can see what that would look like if you use those instead of the flower that I used. And it's so fun. I had so much fun coloring these. I looked up some kimono patterns or fabric patterns on Google, and just, it's gorgeous color inspiration anyway. But I had a lot of fun figuring out the color combination for these. Now I foiled these, and then you're left with this. If you use some solid hot foil plates, with Spellbinders has a couple of that are big enough to foil the reverse of this, and that is just so beautiful. I love just the gold and the white for this Kokeshi doll. Love it. The other two BetterPress plates in this collection are two Floral BetterPress plates, and there are dies included as well. This one also includes a sentiment die, which is Bloom Where You Are, which is so beautiful. I love that sentiment, but I also just love these BetterPress plates. You can actually see them, or you've already seen them in this example here, which I use them just to build up the background here. So I just BetterPress them with I think it was Rustic, the BetterPress ink I used. I love a brown ink here for these cherry blossoms. These are the cherry blossoms BetterPress and die sets. I forgot to mention the name. Yeah, I love the soft watercolor look. And here I foiled with it because I love foiling with my BetterPress plates as well. So I foiled and I watercolored, and then I again did the reverse foiling to put a little more in the background. Love how that turned out as well. So these are maybe a little bit more versatile than the Kokeshi dolls. These flower or these cherry blossoms. I love a good cherry blossom image. And this is maybe a little bit of a different style. These are the blossoms and sentiments. I love the sentiments. I love that there's, so this is again a BetterPress and die set. I love that there are 4 sentiments that are vertical, because it makes you think of different layouts, because your sentiment is in a different form, and I love it. So it is miss you, love you, for you, and thank you. And then you have 1 banner die to cut them out. Now for these flowers, I just thought they looked so playful. I had to brighten up the colors. I stuck with pretty muted colors throughout my cards, but this is just so much fun. I love this. I BetterPressed them in a pink ink, and then I watercolored them as well. I love this. And this Bloom Where You Are sentiment is from that Cherry Blossoms BetterPress and die set, which I showed you before. Our final 2 products are both background products. So this is one product in my mind. This is the Parasols BetterPress plate. It is a little larger than A2, like all of the Spellbinders background BetterPress plates are, so you can make sure it covers all of your background. I love that they're a little bit larger. And you can foil with it, and you can better press with it, which is lovely. So you could buy this separately, or you could buy it in a bundle with the stencil set. This is a 6-layer stencil set. I'll show you how it colors. So it basically divides the parasols into 3 groups in 3 colors, and then you have 2 layers for each. So for the pink parasols, I just did 2 layers of pink there. I love this. I foiled it in a light blue foil, which I hadn't used before, I don't think, but I love how this turned out. So that is it with the stencil. I also used it just without on some pink cardstock as well. I love this pattern. It can just be geometric. I don't think I would necessarily see this if you foil it lightly, or if you better press it tone on tone maybe. It doesn't jump out too much. Like, you can just use this in the background and have it be a subtle background. But with the stencil, it just pops so much and you don't need to add much to it. Love this. And finally, the 3D embossing folder. This is called Floral Fans. It's just full of floral fans. I love it. The texture it gives is just phenomenal. You have all of these tiny little blooms. I just used it in a very subtle background here, where I just used, I embossed it partially, so I had some space to add sentiment here as well. And then I just added some ink blending to the top and let it fade out towards the bottom. And that makes for a pretty fun background, in my opinion. And here I just did it in white. I love to just emboss white cardstock for a subtle background. You don't need to add much to it. I love it. So that is the Floral Fans 3D embossing folder, and that is it for the Spring in Kyoto collection. I hope you have just as much fun as I did with this new collection. There's so much room to play with color and experiment, and I hope you have fun in your craft room. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you next time. Bye!